This is mission work from like you guys shouldn't be here. It's like, I went here voluntarily. I Rip Van Winkled myself. I saw too many commercials, said I don't want to grow up. So I was like, I can pull that off.
No, I like what you're doing. And I think you're the right guy to do it. It's really cool. I'm glad
That's a heck of an endorsement. Thank you.
The gesture is both mocking the king and legitimizing the king at the same time, right? He's helping the king to avoid the problem of tyranny with the king thinking that he's God and has no faults. And so he'll make sure we all know that the king's got everything under that robe that we do, right? It's like he's as messy as all of us, right? So he's gonna try to do that, but he's ultimately doing to serve the kingdom, right, and not to destroy it. So maybe that's it. But I don't know for the monetization part. I don't know. But
yeah, the king usually pays him, right?
That's right. That's a problem.
It's gonna be pretty hard to beat VR, and I think your best bet is paintball for Jesus. And so you should find a local church, give them some money and say, I want to support your paintball team. And until they figure out what to do with all that money, you've done the best you can. Also, I have a Patreon. Pythagoras.
Yes. What do I think of him?
Why is he not included? Does he have a secret?
I am the bread of life.
The bread of life. That's what it's called. See, to me, that happened in that video you recorded. Like your face got really irritated that you got a loaf of it, but like that you were able to like go help an actual human being in their actual real life. That to me, it just struck me as the bread of life.
I'm trying to figure out who knocked and why at that moment.
That's not even real.
It's the same as customer service,
right?
But it's still the giant wheel that's running over everything.
Right.
It's like everybody's faking it, but it's still crushing everything.
Yeah. That's not even.
I'm a Jesus fan. We'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, you were a follower of Jesus.
I can't follow. I can't fast.
So you fan? You sit in the stands and cheer?
I see where he's coming from.
You're right. It's apparently obviously real too. I don't know.
To anybody who can't bank anymore, it's very, very, very real.
Right. Yeah. You know, the Canadian trucker thing really hit me hard. You know, I'm not Canadian. I'm not a trucker.
But I know what a precedential legal system is.
Yeah. Right. You know, and you're right. It's apparently obviously real too. I don't know.
To anybody who can't bank anymore, it's very, very, very real. Right. But verily, verily, and seek and ye shall find. You wanted a reenchantment of you. You wanted a recession of modernity with the tufa formations of magic and the spiritual plane to exist again in your realities. My personal interest leans toward Tai Chi first.
Right. So is this something you're doing?
No, my interest leans towards.
Fast Freddy G knows it all. That's my old name, G.
this is not that. This is not the thumbnail. It's Thursday, as it turns out, and I'm out of touch. And as such, there's not even the thumbnail. But hey, look, Danny's here. The denim wars are insane. Paul is declaring them over, but that's not exactly what's going on at all. In other news, since I've started this silly little those poor people failed their savings throws and they don't get another one until their next stream. You better stream, otherwise they're still not wanting. And like both survival and wisdom did yesterday. So here I am, even though I'm out of touch. I'm out of time, but I'm out of my head. Shake it up is all that we know. Using the bodies up as we go. I'm waking up to fantasies. The shades all around aren't the colors we used to see. Broken ice still melts in the sun, and times that are broken can often be won again. We're so alone, and so really matters to me. Take a look around. You're out of touch. I'm out of time. But I'm out of my head. And hello out there to Rudolph, who I'm sure had enjoyed Christmas season, all of childhood. There's hi to Clint D and Ron and Michael. Somebody is a channel member. And Tunji, and oh look, Dolly Beaufort now. I haven't seen you in forever, Dolly. Nice for you to stop by. And special thanks to the Shadow Cabal, what make all of this possible. And now, here on the Grim Grizz stream is where you get your saving throws against the mind control that you're swimming in, don't you know? And that's even if you only count commercials. And there's so many words are magic. There's no such thing as muggles. So you need a saving throw against the mind control. To get one, you have to make a choice between survival, the will to survive, social, your social network of friends, wisdom, your accumulated wisdom, or the power of your beautiful heart. As the choice is what you're going to use to resist the mind control. I roll a die 10 or higher. You've made it and take half damage from all the mind control. Under 10 though, like yesterday, for both survivalist and socialist. No, survivalist and the wisdom folks. That's full damage if you don't. And if you get a nat 1, it doesn't matter, Clint, if you have a wallet full of points, because on a nat 1, the bonuses do not apply. Okay? Survival, social, wisdom, or heart. Choose. Hey, nobody nat 1 today. I can be off tomorrow. Survivalist got the Baker's Coven. That's a 13 for you. Socialist with an 8. You're going to need the Hive Mind chat bonus for the +2. Focus. You can do it. All right, you can't. That's an 8, though, I promise. Okay, and then wisdom, folks. That's a 5 for you. 5. You need the replay comment bonus. Hard folk, all you got is Trinity. You're going to need something more. Indigo, kids. You got Prime 17. You're going to be fine. You're doing great. Have a bubble. Have a branding. Lobster monkey goose. I must say, it appears Clint D has failed his savings throw against solipsism. Well, in case you didn't know, there's a Discord associated with the show. It's sort of the dirty, the seedy underbelly of what you see in the videos and live streams. And there, I've assembled a crack team of people who watch a bunch of YouTube to bring us the most juicy clips from that. Hey, it's the red church card of the show is the nine of clubs. Wow, it's been a while since I said clubs. Anyway, as I say, those people over on the Discord have assembled us this beautiful collection of clips, which we will go through today on what we call a Reaper's Harvest, and that's how we'll be delivering on the clips and the saves of the
bees are doing this and the squirrels are doing this, and the squirrels don't get together and sort of have a meeting and say, well, it's who's been like leaving little scratch marks on the roots to let us know exactly how many days that are. The squirrels aren't doing that. There's no Department of Centralized Squirrel Intelligence that is sort of monitoring all of this. And of course, it's the same within our body, but then again, it also goes up from us.
Now, as you can see, this hasn't happened since June 16th, and I'm not even sure I did the June 16th harvest, to be honest. It turns out, as featured in this opening clip, I don't get to do much. I don't actually do much. And then, but however, I do shuffle cards. The Jux deck card of the show is the 3 of spades. How about that? Let's get into it. Now, wait. So as you can see, they give me all of these beautiful clips with very little context. Sometimes just the title, right? But Tom Plays and Lynn Lavoie and Upcycle Club and Mills and Afriel have all contributed to this wonderful, wonderful episode, which begins with this clip from Lynn Lavoie.
What do you hear?
Well, if you sit at your house and you read, the lives of the saints all day, and you think that you're, some monk or something, or you know what I mean, you're already kind of going into spiritual delusion at that point, right? I mean, because you don't have anyone to guide you, and so there's this kind of thing of like, I think a lot of people are interested in it, but they're really afraid to go to a church. I think that's a big thing. I mean, I'm just starting to get over my hangups of, because I didn't grow up with
completely excluded. It's almost like the shadow of the West, right? In Jungian terms, it gets completely excluded. And then not everyone, many people who then feel excluded, who are resentful because they don't have a place in the world, at some point, they go on a little, Joseph Campbell adventure into the underworld to try to see what treasures are there that they could find that could help them find something they can grab onto in their resentment. And so that story isn't just a story. It's embodied in people. It's embodied in people that have no place in the world, and that are saying, and that are in some ways becoming, you could say, satanic, for use of a better word, satanic for the story. They're saying something. They're like, I call them World War II metalheads, or like Ozzy Osbourne, like a kind of Ozzy Osbourne aesthetic, but for World War II. They're saying, hey, maybe because it.
You notice the clips can be up to a minute long using the Fancy Pants YouTube features to make clips. And if by default you'd make it long, that's all of them. Sometimes they're whittled down and you can narrow it. So if the clips end abruptly, it's the Reapers are still mastering their trade, so to speak. Here's the next one. Boomers Don't Really Care, from Lynn Lavoie.
This is going off subject, but I think the COVID stuff showed us that the boomers don't care, right? That they want the world. They
don't care about the younger generation.
They want the world to be managed according to their desires. And it's not a conscious thing. It's not something they're doing with malicious intent. But, during it was the weirdest thing. Like during the pandemic, and in Quebec, we got it rough, right? We were locked down, 2 Christmases canceled, just locked down all out. Before the trucker protest, they wanted to increase the passport, vaccine passport, to include grocery stores. Right, that's where they were at that point. And in the midst of the pandemic, when everybody was locked down, our premier, who usually posts just political stuff, for some weird reason, posted a joke on his Twitter of an old man like walking next to a pool and pushing a child. I mean, this is going off subject.
Yes, it did go off subject there. That was fascinating. Here's one from Upcycle Club. The better the tools, the greater the fidelity to truth.
So if we think about what brains have to do, is they have to find ways to effectively reduce the complexity of the world. So we have to find regions where we can make good enough approximation with the tools that we have, and we gradually build up those tools. And the better the tools we have, the more fidelity do we get to the ground truth. So
yes, that's exactly as advertised. And next, from Tom.
The white man is the best, and the white man has power and exercises his power. The white man is the...
Tom. From Lindavoy, cloud seeding.
Very first effective weather modification operations were done in the 40s, after World War II. Then there have been a series of programs that have popped up either domestically or abroad in the decades in between. But we've never actually been able to prove that it works until 2017. What changed in 2017 was this. So to give you the overview of what cloud seeding is, about 93% of all of the liquid and ice water that traverses the lower atmosphere over the US, so the water in the clouds, right? About 93% of that doesn't precipitate over land. It just evaporates away or gets recycled by the oceans. That means that there's a ton of water up there that's just going to waste that you can bring down. So certain clouds that aren't naturally precipitating or that aren't very efficiently precipitating, you can identify those with radar. You can measure that there's liquid in them that isn't coming down, fly a drone up into them. So the very
The scene floats in a kind of theatrical void, like we're watching a stage play with everything around it plunged into darkness. And in that void, the 2 figures emerge with almost sculptural precision. But there's something deeply unsettling about this scene. And it's not just because of what's happening inside the painting, it's because of what it provokes outside of it. Because here, Jesus isn't just being humiliated. He isn't defeated. He isn't caught in chaos. He's aware, present, and most powerful of all, he's looking at us. This is what's known as breaking the fourth wall, a technique used in film and theater when a character looks directly at the audience, breaking the illusion of the story. Bloch does the same thing here, with a single gaze. Christ isn't looking at the soldier insulting him. He's looking at us, as if he knows we're here, as if he's including us in the moment, and that changes everything. The scene flows.
And Michael with the where's my website gets the bonus +4 for detecting my mutedness and making a corn emoji. If you say that I'm muted with words, you still get a +2 or 3. Anyway, the casino deck card of the show is the Joker. Hi, how are you doing? There's only one in that deck, as a matter of fact.
Just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. happy, many down, many Jack King from right, just new King big, great can new happy, the owls are not what they seem, the owls. People very just King, great King. People error, people king, big just King, King. Happy, many down, many Jack King from right, just new King, big, great can new happy, the owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just King, great King. People error, people king, big just King, King. King, happy, many down, many Jack King from right, just new King, big, great can new happy, the owls are not what they seem, the owls.
Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you. Remember, embody, there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Next up, we have a clip from the Avriel Pilotson with this guy.
And I understand this race for technology, but AI has the same destination whether you're doing it for good or evil. So it's the same agenda. So it's the white hat, black hat understanding in polytheism. So it's like good magic and black magic. It's like good giants and evil giants. It's like good kings and evil kings, good witches and evil witches. It's a standard dogma. And it's designed just as our politics are. When you get the established parties versus populism, which is why they don't like populism, because it's more difficult to control, it's done to create a pulls apart positioning and cattle herd you into the open arms of where they want you to go to, into their open arms of destruction.
Arms of destruction. And next, also from Avriel Pilotson,
we could build another layer of information processing that's in between audience and presenter. And I was the notion that could be built, and that we could become a system of cells interlinked within cells that could, like, dreadfully distinct against the dark, a tall white fountain plays.
And speaking of incels, boy, howdy, do we have a treat for you. But they're adjusting their camera.
Did you get that on video? No. Mom, I'm not going. No, that's I'll show you later. Look, the gator obviously. Hey, yo! I just feel bad for this kid. My God. Yeah, it's okay.
Live from somewhere on this map, where you can track and assassinate them at your convenience. It's the Estuary Road Trip, people.
Oh!
Hold on. What's going on here?
Hello. Hello. I'm eating some salt. How's it going? I was just gonna grab some water real quick. Don't mind me. It might be frozen. It's not frozen. We're good. Hello. We're in California. We are. I guess we're doing a segment. We are in California still. We're still in the LA area, but we're going to be leaving tonight to go to Sacramento. It seems Paul is away.
Yeah, you're going to have to linger there. I heard you met Van Donk.
Yes. Yes, we met Van Donk. We attended his estuary, not last night, but the night before.
He took us on a grand tour of the larger LA area, and that was like a 10-hour trip.
It was amazing.
Lots of stops, saw some interesting things, and got to hang out with him quite a bit, so it was cool.
Yeah.
But you're in LA now, and you started in that the northeast of the country in Connecticut or some shit.
Yes. Yes. You can see on our website that where we began, where we have been, and where we plan to go. If anyone, we are pretty much booked in terms of. I don't know how we're going to possibly be able to make it to all the spots that we have remaining, but it might be possible. And
there's still 22 days until the Midwestuary event culmination, where we all gather.
Yeah,
Midwestuary 2025, August 22nd through the 24th in Elmhurst, Illinois. A weekend you won't want to miss, with special guests Cale Zeldin, Paul Vanderklay, Rod Dreer, Elizabeth Oldfield, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pajot. Midwestuary 2025, the Fellowship of the Spirit. Stay tuned for more details. Visit us at midwestuary.com for ongoing updates.
Yeah. So the LA area has been great, and as you can see, we're in a small van.
It's a large van.
It's a large van, but yeah. Yeah.
We also hung out with Jacob a little bit.
Yep.
What? Mr. Fats? You met up with Mr. Fats? I just had to add to the Ko-Fi link to see if I get to make it to Midwestuary. It appears I'm currently at 39% of my chances to arrive. I do have a dumpster to sleep in when I get there. Yes, 3 weeks to bring it up to the goal 100%. It's very exciting. I think I can do.
I agree. I think you'll be some of these. Surely we will not allow this to fall under the radar. And by we, I mean everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Come on, everyone. Oh, and so I since you stopped at the Grim Grizz in Oklahoma on your estuary road trip, I've noticed an increase in shorts videos being produced, but not a single episode. Is there not why you can't edit videos while Joe drives? Or
I was actually just working on it right now. I've been extremely busy. Check out this one part right here where I drop the camera and it does this crazy thing. Whoa!
That's good. Yeah, that's not going to cause people seizures or anything.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to cut it out. That's why
I think you should.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to put it in here also.
That way it's, I see. So you are still getting the footage.
Yeah, so that somebody could witness the moment, Yes.
How many, has your gas tank stayed full? Have the donos been rolling in, or have people left you out on the wind and only the Lord to provide?
I don't think we've got a dono in a while.
I wonder if that's because you failed to make videos.
We met Mark Parker. Mark Parker gave us a dono.
Yeah.
You met Mark Parker?
Mark D. Parker showed up to the estuary in Chino, Van Donk's estuary.
Van Dank's estuary is down the street. Blue Church Carter, the show is the king of clubs.
Nice. Yeah, it was nice to meet Mark Parker. sadly, we did not have a whole lot of time to hang out. There's been so much going on, and but yeah, he gave us a dinner, and he's a super cool dude. And we hope to catch him on stream on Tuesday. We're going to try and join.
Oh, so because he's still there in that California. Oh, there's a question. I didn't think you had any questions, but here's one. What did Van Donk think of the van? It seems like Van Donk would have van opinions.
Yes. No, yes. Actually, he has done some road trips himself, which is pretty cool. He's driven around in a camper, and he was all for it. He's also in support of relative support for what we're trying to do. He thinks it's interesting, and the whole idea of some sort of more on the ground estuary. I don't know how to put it. You know,
this is how I steer. This is me chasing this net, you know. Yeah. This is how I steer. Yeah. This is me chasing this net, you know. Yeah. Thank you, Gabrielle. And then, oh, hey, look, we're bubbles down here now. How about that?
Woo!
They don't raise us. Anyway, like in this one, it pops us up when I do things, but then this one, not so much. But here you are on this road trip there.
Highly recommend. Highly recommend. It's been great. I suggest everyone do something analogous.
Analogous. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, go do stuff outside in the world with real people. It's fun. And then, estuary it. Yeah. If you want. And then you can go to different estuaries and meet different people. It's great.
Yeah, we only have 3 weeks left. It's kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah, and then we got to figure out what we're going to do between Midwestuary and Southeastuary with the inimitable Jordan Hall. So exciting. And we know you're going to be making videos, though, Jonathan.
We'll probably be. I'll definitely be making videos of some sort, but we'll probably be there as well. Pretty exciting. I'm excited to meet Sherry there. I think she's going to that.
Oh yeah, it's always good time to be around Sherry.
Yeah, and that's what I would presume. And we might try and stop back towards our places of origin in between the two events, but it's still up in the air. So, yeah.
Well, gentlemen, it's good to see you, but I got so many clips to go through that I'm kicking you off now. Have a wonderful road trip and make more shorts. Make more shorts. This is the Remember and Body road trip with the Mestuary guys.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
Later.
And then this one. All right. And then I kick them off and add that back to stage. But then I click over. This one we ran. The next clip is we did that one too. We're at here, Mills, with As If. And we'll see how it goes.
And we can do all of these things in these other crazy spaces. And I feel like once we get a handle on what it means for a cell to be navigating transcriptional space and using intelligence to do so, and to have mistaken beliefs about that space and all these kinds of things, we will be, I think, in a better shape to jump or decide not to jump into these kinds of ideas for AIs.
Right. Yeah, because that gives us a larger framework onto which we can try and map.
That's right, and see how well it goes, and see how well it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's.
Well, what we're really making are pointers into that space. We're making interfaces to patterns, and that what we fundamentally are not the physical embodiment. I don't think we don't make intelligence. We don't make consciousness. What we make are interfaces through which if we know what we're doing. And I think most of the time we don't know what we're doing any more than we do when we make an embryo. It's like Dennett used to call it competence without comprehension. We can make these things, but we don't actually understand, right?
Yeah, like termite mounds and things. And
sorry, say that again.
Like termite mounds and things like that. So he kind of contrasts the termite mound with the Gaudi Cathedral, right? So,
Yeah. Well, that's right. And the thing with the cathedral is that it uses passive materials. So it's easy to do that when you have passive matter, but when you're dealing with agential matter, we're not good at knowing what we're going to get, what kind of ingressions. And so my view of consciousness at this point is that consciousness is the perspective.
Did he say what kind of ingressions?
Dealing with agential passive materials. So it's easy to do that when you have passive matter, but when you're dealing with agential matter, we're not good at knowing what we're going to get, what kind of ingressions. And so my view of consciousness at this point is that consciousness is the perspective of the pattern from that side, right? When you will
the list?
Yeah.
Remember, Embody,
there is no agency. We want
what's best.
And Mills tells us that physics was a form of apologetics in this clip.
Right? Let's summarize Newton's 3 laws of motions. Law number 1, things that are at rest stay at rest. Number 2, force equals mass times acceleration. Number 3, for every action, there must be an equal reaction. Okay? So what people don't understand is these 3 laws are not physical laws. They are first and foremost an ontological argument, which proves the existence of God. Right? Let's
What? And yes, you are correct, Clint. That was rude. It was a terrible fumble.
The list?
Yes, any of the first level ones.
I'm gonna get a soda. Anyone want one? Hey, Graham, I'm not in the room, right?
What room? I want to cast magic missile.
The room where he's casting all these spells from.
He hasn't cast anything yet. I am, though, if you'd listen. I'm casting magic missile.
Why are you casting magic missile? There's nothing to attack here.
I'm attacking the darkness.
And as if I haven't done the rebirth harvest in a month and a half, we have even more clips, such as this one from Mills: efficient causes and moral systems, ancestor bias.
An example of this. There are still indigenous groups that live off the land, and the ones that gather their food from the coast need to know that some shellfish are poisonous. These indigenous peoples know perfectly well which ones not to eat. But here's the thing. If you ask them why they shouldn't eat it, they have no idea. They don't even know it's poisonous. All they know is that it's their custom not to eat it. That custom is created from a verbal tradition of one generation telling the next not to eat it. So you see, this cognitive bias is manifesting in a strong trust of the younger generation towards the elder one. Conversely, that if individuals that do not have this bias, they eat the poisonous shellfish, and then they get taken out of the gene pool. This is how the cognitive bias serves this positive evolutionary role. Keeps people alive. She knows really well that this bias runs strong in us. In fact, her whole paleo diet guru shtick is based on this bias. An example.
Did I mention I was out of touch today? +4. +4, Ev. Clint, you put this one in there.
Little web camera right here. This little thing right here tends to draw out the worst in people. It creates little personalities and cults of personality. and then we become more geared towards doing everything that we do for the views. I got to get more subs. I got to get more likes. I got to get more shares. I got to grow my channel. It's never enough. This is all about me. I got to get more and more, and I got to get my name out there, and I got to grow. And I can't at all admit I was in error. I can't at all ever admit that I misspoke or that I said something that I didn't source. I can't at all ever admit that I'm human and I made a mistake. I can't ever acquiesce and say, you know, I don't know.
Oh, no. We're in the age of authenticity now, baby. Watch.
I'm not as well studied on that as I thought. Or, you know, no, I sincerely, you know, disagree with you. And these are the, like, you can't have any humility.
And just this avaricious power. I've been watching Palm Royale and Apple Plus, which is really delightful in that it.
And all the gay sex and stuff, Paul. Is that what makes it really delightful? I don't. Oh.
And his idea was we're all in various ways trying to get back to the sea. And that can manifest itself also in psychological forms as returning to the womb. So I'll talk about that later in regards to reading and the amniotic calmness it can induce. But this, it just reminds.
Oh, that guy gives good listen. Amniotic.
Me of the reverse thalassa is basically coming out of the amniotic, basically being born. You're coming out of the calmness and serenity of the amniotic sac, where all your nutritional needs are met, and you're being thrown out in the birth pangs of pain for your mother into a cold, unforgiving, bright world. And so that's the opposite of thalassa in some senses. But I had, and his idea.
Who did that? Joy. Joy with the home run clip. That's the winner so far, as far as I'm concerned. As far as I'm concerned, this is from Mills, Ritual and Identity. What trauma? Resiliency.
Idea of having initiation rituals, of having, very like having marriage rituals, of having these moments of high salience that are there to kind of capture you and remember and tell you like this is who you are.
Yes.
That person that took his first communion, after confirmation or whatever, that's you, my friend. Like that's you. One of the things I think that in some ways what's happened in the modern world is because we like this worship of the informal, like I said, like this kind of dismissing of celebration, this dismissing of high moments, this kind of reduction of everything to everything being flat. That's not true. That's actually a lie. And people that are in that world, I think, are more in danger of being captured by trauma because in some ways they don't have this high, right? The idea. And so the Jews allied themselves with the Romans to kill this character. And then his disciples, they end up persecuting and ultimately rejecting. And they even develop in the first century, they developed a prayer, which is a curse on heretics, in which the Nazarene were named for a very long time. And so they
and the Jews formulated this prayer? Okay.
Yeah.
That cursed the followers of Christ.
It's a curse on the betrayers, curse on the heretics, called the Berkat Haminim. Okay. And for centuries in the prayer, the Nazarenes were named as like people that had betrayed in some ways Judaism. So here's the situation.
Because of Christ.
Yeah. Sorry?
Because of Jesus.
Yeah, well, because they had wrong beliefs. Like they believed in something that they thought was wrong, like a kind of heresy. And so they persecute this little group. They eject them from the synagogue, right? They don't have a place. They're not allowed to participate in the life of the Jews. And so the Jews.
Oh, I don't know that. Thank you. Thanks to Upcycle Club. Grab your gift memberships now, and then you can do : Danny : and make this happen. Woo! That one. Who did that? That's a Lynn one. That's a Lynn and Joy with the top two so far, I think. Up next,
kind of kinship or a
follow up. My follow up one. Talking in Sand
is a kind of kinship or a common history, something that they share together which makes Christians preserve Jews. But there's another one, which is darker, which is St. Augustine, for example, talks about how the Jews in some ways are like Cain, and that they killed their brother, and now they're preserved like with a mark in a way that to their shame, you could say. And so they're preserved in their shame. And so those are the two things that happen. But it's a weird thing. Like, it's not like anybody decided this.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. And then
there's a deep attraction and repulsion within the Christian and within Europe, within the West, towards the Jew. It's both a deep attraction and a deep...
I don't know if you guys are allowed to say this stuff.
deep repulsion. You can see it all the time.
Yeah.
And I think people go too overboard on the anti-Semitism.
Colony of Cossars, what are we calling them, could be so powerful, almost bored with their power, if we're going back to this space book, bored with their power, that they would allow this to take place and have confidence, know fully well that even if they get caught, who cares? I mean, you'd have to be so powerful and so politically extremist, like that book suggests, that you could, like, I don't know, sink the USS Liberty.
Are you guys turning this into a right-wing anti-Semite channel?
Scripture, which is just shorthand for saying the belief that Scripture all speaks with one unified voice and never contradicts itself.
Well, that's not what univocity means. Univocity means that it has a clear meaning, that it's not equivocal. The opposite of univocity would be equivocal language. And I think what's important here is not...
I think I might have to not allow even great quotes if they have other things up. It makes it very confusing. I have to cover it up with stuff and oh man. I would here.
Remember embody there is no agency. We want what's best for you.
Up next, we have one from Little Avoid that will definitely have to be edited out of this.
If you believe that he was the Son of God, then it paints over all of the why should you do this and becomes the ultimate because I said so. And now you get people to take the self-help book very seriously, because every time I'm like, but wait, why this? Because I said so, because I'm God, and therefore it just is.
You just told me Christianity, you didn't tell me anything about God. And I want you to know that that's the point that I'm trying to make right now.
But you're saying that the book of Christians is a magic sequence of words that opens the universe up before you. And I'm saying that is the point that we disagree on.
There's something about that guy. He must be like me because he rubs me the wrong way, and it's always something about yourself that the other person. Anyway.
Because you said, I'm going directly to your last point. The last point that you just made was that, if you believe in this guy and he's going to wash over everything, and that's the ultimate I told you so. So that's the point, not the Bible is the point. And I'm saying that is the manipulation that we're currently involved in right now, is that people think it's as easy as listen to this story, listen to this sermon, flip the point, and you're good now. And now I'm saying you're missing the point by doing that.
What?
I think that guy's more right. So random. Let's see if it gets any clearer. Any clearer with this ad.
I move off. This is so random for us. Is that if I had not gone to church and all of that, and I had instead just read the Bible every week, that I would have realized
there would have been different understandings than hearing it from somebody else. I'd
have a different understanding, sure, but I would still, I'm willing to bet a whole lot of money, would have drawn the same conclusions.
And that's where I think but you can't say that because you never did it.
Yeah, but you can't say that because I've never did it either. Neither of us know the counterfactual, but you're making very bold claims about it. And I'm just saying I will make an equally bold claim as the person who actually lived it and is inside my head, for better or worse, all the time. I can tell you how I have parsed information like that.
Don't put your counterfactual in my mouth. What?
Called privacy.com.
What? Oh, this is important or easy or life hack or something.
There's a company called privacy.com, and they have a setup where you can create fake credit cards based on a particular debit card. So I'm going to try and set this up so that you don't see shit on the screen that you're not supposed to, because I have personal information here. But you can click a button called New Card. You can use a single-use card, merchant locked, category locked card. So let's say I create a merchant locked card. I can say that this is for my country gym membership, right? Hit create, and then after I hit that, I now have a card. I can show details.
I think the important part about this one is that he has a country gym membership.
That Robert Schuller. I think that Robert Schuller is, after doing this research, I think he is one of the best examples of the it works trap. This is one of the main dangers of pragmatism, which is basically the idea that if it works, then it's good. And if it works, then it's true. It's a way of judging reality. And what's undeniably clear here is that Robert Schuller had a problem that needed to be fixed. And what ended up fixing his problem was something that was probably really practical and needed. But it came with a spirituality and philosophy that he ended up adopting and implementing in his teachings and theology. So the idea is that because something worked, we tend to take our guard down when it comes to discerning what else comes with that bait that we took.
As somebody who's realizing you should really do this more than a month and a half in between.
Here. That's all I got. Scott?
All right. Yeah, I'll touch on something everybody's talked about in here as we go through this, because I'm last again. I'm just kidding. So through
do this. This text means this. This text means that. These texts are all different proof texts for, and for Christians, they're all different proof texts for their particular doctrinal, confessional container that they're trying to promote or defend. And for Jordan, it's sort of his own little cabinet of, well, Abraham and Jonah, and there's this pattern out there in the world, and here I've mapped the patterns, and so here, let me tell you about the patterns. Whereas with Scott Adams, it's more like, I don't know what the patterns are. I'm just going to try stuff. So I hear someone talking about affirmations, and well, doggone it, I better pick a big one. I was trained to be a Methodist when I was young, but it didn't stick. And when you're talking about this, I'm feeling like the Bible is almost the physical representation of a bunch of ways to think that you can almost think of as God itself. So when you get into Adam's pandeism, the Bible is sort of a guide to that pandeism. So the fact that it's written down is not the important part. The important part is that these are clearly sets of guidance and stories and narratives that have, proven through time that they work. So
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm not a cat.
I don't think we die. I don't think that we have an understanding of the divine concept of time. I don't think we're any more capable of understanding a clock than a dog is. And I think something much bigger is going on than we're aware of in our day-to-day routines. So I don't think I have the intelligence or the DNA makeup to answer that question.
Then the very water we swim in of the values we're trying to live out can actually be feeding the power to the powerful dynamic. Now, if that seems cynical to you, it's actually not. And the fact that it seems cynical, I think, is a result of our culture's either-or thinking. So we might imagine a spectrum where on one extreme end of the spectrum, we have the belief that all values come out of this deep spiritual being in touch with the world and being in touch with truth and beauty and meaning and God and all of that stuff. That's one belief, is that anytime somebody upholds a value, it's coming from that place. And the other end of the spectrum is that all of society's values are determined by power actors structuring the moral frame according to their needs. And the reality comes from a mixture of both of those.
What Poland went through, where they lost, I don't know, 20-25% of their population to war. Look at the statistics on the Battle of Stalingrad. We don't really understand. We've just, our whole life has been in a bubble.
You said I'm looking at the end.
Yeah. Remember all the talk about the singularity? Like Ray Kurzweil, we're heading to the singularity. What is the singularity going to be like? You're in it. This is now. You're looking at the disintegration of NATO. You're looking at people who don't know how to maintain the systems that were engineered by their great-grandparents after World War II. That order that, you're from the UK. If you think about how the UK woke up to the idea that they had built into their head, is from the stage, make the Middle East Christian again. Does nobody understand their role is sort of my question. How can you have Bethlehem without a strong Christian presence? Have you ever been to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre?
No.
Can I give you another assignment?
Yeah.
Get off your ass and go. You got the money. Walk the stations of the cross. And for God's sakes, stop with the issue about belief. You can pray like the rest of us. We're not sure if we're praying. We're not sure if the thing is hooked up and anyone's listening. You have the right to go back, even with doubt, even with knowledge. And you have the right to believe about it tomorrow, where you're not going to. I desperately want to know why Jeffrey Epstein knew so much about my work. And I want to know why he was connected to my graduate program. I was in the Harvard mathematics department. Jeffrey Epstein was absolutely connected to the Harvard math department. I want to know why.
How was he connected to the math department?
You're pushing me to say things I'm not going to say. But I don't mind.
I'm curious. I'm not trying to push you out.
I understand, but I'm just not going to do it. I believe that whoever constructed Jeffrey Epstein was running multiple different programs through the same thing, having put in a large initial investment. It wasn't about one thing. If you build a mall, you don't just have clothing stores in the mall, you have a food court in the mall, right? You have jewelry in the mall. You have all sorts of different things in the mall. Jeffrey Epstein was a construct of something that was running multiple things. One of those things was science. And I don't think that the science and the pedophilia were necessarily in the same bucket. He was fun.
What's reality? I don't know. When my bird was looking at my computer monitor, I thought, that bird has no idea what he's looking at. And yet, what does the bird do? Does he panic? No, he can't really panic. He just does the best he can. Is he able to live in a world where he's so ignorant? Well, he doesn't really have a choice. The bird's okay, even though he doesn't understand the world. You're that bird looking at the monitor, and you're thinking to yourself, I can figure this out. Maybe you have some bird ideas.
If something is here, it's likely been here longer than humans have even been civilized. So it really opens the question, and actually it's something that I think Charles Fort actually said, is, Earth is probably somebody else's property.
Well, that's a hell of a place to end. So I think we will end there.
If they are.
Come on. Hey, guards, you see? Guards.
Poetry, myth, symbolism, religion, and religious worship are not simply prologues to reflective thought or preambles to it. They are its conclusion, its consummation. Poetry, myth, symbolism, religion, and religion.
We have endless content, but no myth. We have data, but no wisdom. The nothing is here. It's not a monster. It's your feed.
I wanted to die killing them. That's it. That's all I wanted. I wanted to die. That addiction to death was because the first covenant I entered into was with death. It was with death. Different entity, critical information, Anubis, Anut, Hermes, different entity. The final enemy that is thrown into the lake of fire is death. He will be consumed.
The way YouTube works, generally speaking, most of my shitty videos have 90% approval ratings because people hit the thumbs up so they can watch it later. Doesn't necessarily mean my videos are any good. It just means that, well, there's a strange small group of you that like my videos who will watch this one too.
Each stage is a rigid application and demand of some learned wisdom upon others. It's something I think all noobs go through who are enthusiastic and zealous. Yeah, I think you're right. I had never heard of that term before. Cage stage is a rigid application and demand of some learned wisdom upon others. It's something I think all noobs go through who are enthusiastic and zealous. Yeah, I think.
Interact with the top politicians in the world. Now they all want to know about AI. And so we have access to the State House, to the White House. And if you can't tie it to human outcomes, then you don't get the voters. And historically, we didn't think in terms of voters, right? We thought in terms of AI progress. How does it benefit the world bottom up? But now everybody wants to know, what does this mean for me?
Yeah,
and who's going to figure that out if it's not, between you doing everything related to healthcare and space, and then Alex doing everything related to science, physics, technology, that who else is going to figure this out if not you guys? And so if we can just tie it to, like, when will cancer be cured? What type of cancer? When will housing be solved? What will be the new economics? Ahmad actually has to figure out the new economics. But this is the place we got to figure all those things out.
These are effectively having AI solve the X prizes of the future. I'm curious if you're listening here or watching.
We're used to interact.
I'm curious if you're listening here or watching too.
And so this
Good news though, we finally made it through the month and a half worth of clips with this final one. And let's see if the next Reaper's Harvest comes out better than this. This is from Clint D. Many in the corner have absorbed roar.
and so this is about
threeness, and this is his foundation for rejecting dualism. Like we were saying, that he doesn't like the in or out, right or wrong. It's never just two, although he uses false dichotomies
all the time. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he hates the language of either or, but his entire book is just either or setups.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing about that is that he also trains his followers to embrace contradiction. So when he says don't use either or thinking, that is an either or statement. Either use either or thinking or don't use either or thinking. You can't really escape it. So he's using the either or thinking, but if he trains his followers to say, don't be so, worried about, just embrace contradiction, and you need to learn from that, perennial tradition to embrace contradiction. Well, then you can see him contradicting himself and be okay with it. It's actually kind of a brilliant a tactic there.
Manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah. This we are scrolling shorts, but these ones are our shorts. The people that around us, these are the ones we picked, and that's what makes it special. But it was long and hard. And I'm getting out of here.